800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason. We've got silver $half back in stock, at least temporarily. They're $300 a roll. If you buy 50 rolls or more, $295. And as we said, we're cheaper than all the big internet guys out there by quite a bit. We had 300 rolls. That was 3 bags. We're a bag down already. So, 800-951-0592. Silver 25.30 right now, down about 6 cents. Gold's up 8, make it 9, 2004. We do have a few 10th ounce maples. Remember we ran the 10th ounce maples yesterday, 1 through 49 at 260, 50 or more at 255. And I just got an email. Silver premiums are at a new all-time record high. So, look for silver. Listen, buy these $half while we've got them. Jason, it's getting really, it's getting ridiculous is what it's getting.
I wanted to talk about the $half on the last segment, but I'll say here, these are great, man. These are a great coin to get. If you can do it today, I would jump on it. I was watching some guys talking about the junk silver market. You know, the dollars, which we don't sell nearly as much, the Morgan and Peace dollars, which I love selling those, the infrequently times that we can do that, but $half, quarters, and dimes. And the guy made a really good point, Joe, I was listening to. He said, look, and we watched these $half premiums go up and up and up above the quarters and dimes by a lot, just like the silver dollars did. And he said, look, you know, there's a lot of people that stockpile a lot of those silver dollars, and they're just higher premiums. Now they've been stacking and stockpiling the $half, and the premiums been going up. He says this is going to happen to the quarters, it's going to happen to the dimes. He's like, look, this is the one coin. Silver Eagles are great. Get as many as you can get your hands on, but they're not making these coins anymore. At some point, some big guys are just going to pile up on this junk silver because they say, hey, wait, there's a little extra benefit. If they're not making anymore, so the premiums will just go up, and it's going to happen on all the junk silver, Joe. They haven't made it since 1964.
Well, and again, we saw quarters and dimes make, just like Jason said, they made a big move, and catching, back up here. And now guess what? Silver Eagles, silver $half, silver quarters, silver dimes, all going up. Again, it's not stopping. This is a global situation, right? We've given it all to the world. Existing home sales came out today. We had the big spike. We had a February spike. Gave everybody hope. The hope went away in March. Existing home sales fell, I want to say, for the 13th time out of the last 14 months, February being the lone exception selling price. Not panicked yet.
I saw that it was the biggest drop since 2012. Is that true?
The largest decline in price since January of 2012. Now, to put that in perspective, it was down 0.9%, so like 1%. 375,700, and I want to say at the peak, existing home sales, the average, was the median price, not the average price. The average price is higher than this, but that median price got to over 400,000. I'm not panicked about it too much, but 375,700. But the largest drop in over 10 years, right, since January of 2012. Home prices between 250 and 500,000 made up half of the transactions, while those over 750 took a smaller share. So that's new. That's telling you the effect of the rate hikes, that people are going to have to buy less house if they want to get a house, Jason.
Getting very, very hard to buy a house, that's for sure. It seems every generation's been dealing with this since the World War II generation. It seems like it's just harder and harder and harder. And it's hard to believe. Well, it's not hard to believe. I understand it. But before the Federal Reserve in 1913, the vast majority of the homes, not all homes, but almost all the homes, had no mortgage at all. You simply bought the house. I mean, can you imagine anybody in say, Jack's generation saving up in any reasonable amount of time and just buying a house, Joe? It's an impossible mission. And now we're just talking about you can't even get the down payment and afford the payment. It's a sad state of affairs, Joe.
Well, listen, and remember, in 10 days, 11 days, Joe Biden's, you got to watch these people. Right? There was no big fanfare. There was no debate in Congress that we heard of. Remember, they're changing the loans, right? Anybody with good credit, right, above, I forget what the number was, above, I want to say 780, I think it was. Anything above 780, and you put 20% down, 15 to 20% down. So you got good credit, and you're putting money down. They're going to charge you 0.5% more. And then they're going to give that money to the people with risky credit. In other words, they don't have great credit, and they're not putting a lot down, so they can save 0.5% on their mortgage. Now, granted, the people with the riskier credit, they're already paying a higher mortgage rate. But, Jason, this is going to make it even worse.
They need more home buyers to float the system, right? And so the only ones that don't have homes are the higher risk, lower income people. So I don't get this at all, Joe, because it seems like a doomed situation on its face, but they're doing it. So okay, you've done well, and you're punished for doing well. And boy, when your mortgage gets grouped into all the new riskier loans are going to put into place with what you just said, Joe, it sure sounds like they're wanting to build a housing crisis again.
What do you think they're going to do when the digital currency comes? Because it's coming. And believe me, it's not coming without a banking crisis to go with it. And I know that I've speculated on it. Glenn Beck has speculated. Lots of people have speculated. David Morgan, so many. Muriel Rubini, heck, even Jeff Gundlach and Ray Dalio. They've got this new thing about quote unquote equality, which is it's a code word for, hey, let's take from the people that have done it right and give it to the people that haven't. What do you think's going to happen to the money in your bank account? I'm going to tell you right now, you think you're keeping it all? You're sadly mistaken, right? There's going to be a fee in place, an equality fee. That money out of that bank. 800-951-0592 before they do a little home buying special on your bank accounts. We'll be back. $800-951-0592. They're going fast. Silver, $50. One roll through 49. You get 20 in a roll. Okay, you get 20 silver $50 in a roll. They're $300 if you buy 50 rolls or more. $295. Well below anybody else out there. We're running low. We started with 3 bags, and Jason, we'll try to get more when we can, and when we get them, you buy them. I mean, that's all there is to it. The 10th ounce maple leaf, same thing, right? 1 through 49, $260. Buy a roll or more, 50 or more, $255 until we're out of them. I guess that's how we'll do every sale until they're gone, right? 800-951-0592. The problem is when they're gone, it's hard to replace them. I got to talk about this. We don't do a lot of this on this show. This is more a half-empty cup type thing. But Facebook has now banned Pulitzer Prize winner Seymour Hersh. Of course, remember, he did the story about how, and nobody doubts it, about how the United States was involved in the Nord Stream pipeline. blowing that thing up. Of course, it wasn't done without, but put it this way, either, I don't know if we directly did it, indirectly did it, but we knew it was going to happen. There's no doubt in my mind anyway. But yep, you're banned, you're blocked. We can't have that out there. And it's just another sign. It is. Do you not understand what's coming? Freedom is going away, and they're going to really get you with this digital currency, this thing about the housing thing. This should alarm all of us. Because it simply is, listen, for how long they beat it into your head. Get good credit. Get good credit because you get a reward for that. You get to pay less. Not anymore. Up. What are you doing with good credit? Man, you know what? You overprivileged son of a gun, right? Man, you're a terrible person. How dare you be overprivileged with good credit? Tell you what we're going to do. You're going to charge you 0.5% more, and then we're going to give it to the guy with the bad credit. I mean, literally, that's what they're saying. That's what they're doing. And what do you think they're going to do with our bank accounts? You don't think that's coming to our bank accounts? You're a fool if you don't.
I agree, Joe. I agree. We sit here and pound our desks every day. You know, you need to understand, at least on a low level, of what this is. And I think this is why a lot of listeners listen to the show. And if you're listening to the show for the first time, or you've tried a couple of times and you're having trouble with it, I remember when I first started listening to Joe and Eric, and mostly it was Joe. The years I started listening was when Eric was starting to move out. But I tried to get my mom, Bernice, to listen, and she couldn't stand it. I mean, it was too much reality, because when you don't live in the world of reality, if you're not looking for facts of how things are actually working, when you hear stuff and then makes sense, it really, that cognitive dissonance starts to set in. You don't want to look at it. You don't believe it. But then as you hear it a few more times, you start to fact check what Joe's been saying for years. And you fact check other guys that are similar. And it's like, wait a minute, this is all happening. This is the way it is. And Joe's telling you, you got to know this stuff at a certain level so that you can make better decisions. You know, the word burying your head in the sand is okay. You know, who wants to hear all this stuff? But if things go bad for you, I would say economically, let's just stick with that, and you had your head buried in the sand, that's your fault. You caused the damage to yourself. If you are actually one of the few people out there that know this stuff is happening and have a chance to do something about it, because, Joe, I don't know about you, but I'd say a good chunk of 80% of the people have heard nothing about this. Maybe 15% of the population have some idea that they're hearing something. And it's only about 5% of the population have any real knowledge about this stuff, and they do something about it. And when times get tough, they're the ones that family members or friends are like, wait a minute, how'd you weather that storm so well? Well, you took the measures by the facts given to you, and you did what you were supposed to do, Joe. And buying gold and silver is a huge part of that.
I'm going to tell you, and I think a lot of especially our longtime listeners, can relate to this. You know, we told the story. Remember when I started here 20 years ago? You know, Eric and I had become friends because when I married my wife, Sarah, Eric's niece, she was actually living with Eric at the time, and we became good friends. And I used to tell him, oh, gosh, man, I love Eric. You know, Eric was hilarious. Funny guy, great guy, big personality, but, man, is he a wacko. Guy's a wacko, right? Tinfoil helmet in the basement type guy. And then all of a sudden, you know what? I did it. I did just what Jason said. I started looking. Oh, wait a minute. He's actually telling the truth. He's right. And then wait, he's right about that. He's right about this. Wait a minute. And then all of a sudden, here I am. We're partners 20 years later. You know what the thing that I love, though? We're not wackos anymore. Matter of fact, in a lot of places now, 20 years later, you went from the wacko uncle, right, the wacko brother, the wacko parent, to, hey, maybe we should listen to what they have to say. Now, that's not everywhere, right? You still got to listen. There's a lot of people, to Jason's point, They just don't want to hear this. You don't want to hear the truth? That's up to you. I'm not going to stop you.
You go from
but
the
you're
wacko to the wise elderly gentleman. you become wise, wacko to wise. That's what you got to do. You got to fight that fight. You got to be the wacko for so many years before your family and friends they start to figure out that that's actually wisdom. That's not wackoness. That's wisdom. You know, looking outside the box, right, Joe?
When we get back, how fast is the world de-dollarizing? Somebody came out with some numbers, and I hope they're wrong. Final segment coming up. (800-951-0592). I guess if you're having anxiety listening to this show, I just saw this. So it's 4:20 today. So I guess get your weed out, right? Maybe take some gummies before listening to this show. Get your anxiety levels. You want to get your anxiety level down. It's incredible what buying some gold and silver does to that. People just feel a lot better once they have it. If you're new, and we've been to so many new people. Thank you, by the way. Thank you to all of our existing folks, because a lot of these people, they're new because you told me, hey, you got to pay attention. This is where you go to get your gold and silver. So thank you for all the referrals as well out there. But just call. I got the best girls. I really do. They're fantastic at what they do. There is no pressure. There's no commission salespeople. We're not bait and switching you. Just call the 800 number and just say, I want the special. We're going to ask you one real hard question. How many would you like? I mean, that's really going to be about the extent of the difficult questions out there. 800-951-0592. Something else you need to know. We don't call our clients. We don't make outbound. Now, if you ask us, hey, will you call when my check gets there? Will you call when you ship or think? We'll do that for you. But we don't cold call people. We don't email we don't fill up your email inbox. I think I've done, 2 mailers in 20 years. I don't have any plans on ever do it. I never say never, but we don't even do that. I mean, right? We're kind of the opposite of what a sales company's supposed to be. And you know what, Jason? I think people tend to like that.
Yeah, there's always some unusual circumstances why we'll call somebody. You know, some of our customers say, "Hey, if you find something specific, we'll try to make that call." So there's reasons to call. It's not like we're trying. Hey, we're not going to call you and leave us alone. We'll leave you alone. We'll bother you as much as you need to be bothered. But it's great to have a company that we provide the service. I mean, let's face it. There's a certain restaurant you like. You go there, I don't know, once a week or once a month. Do you really need that restaurant calling you and telling you that, hey, you need to get in here and eat here again? You don't really need that. You know it's a good restaurant. You're going to go there when you want to go there. That's how we handle it. But hey, if we get a relationship going with you, we tell you, hey, there's a certain special item that comes out once a month, and that's what you want to eat. We'll let you know what day of the month that's coming out, right, Joe?
Yeah. So the dollar, the de-dollarization, we've been watching this. Stephen Yen, CEO SLJ Capital, says that the pace of the de-dollarization has increased significantly. The U.S. dollar share of the global reserve currency fell at 10 times the average pace in 2022 that it has fallen over the last 20 years. According to this guy, he said that in 2001, the share of the official global reserve currency the greenback held was at 73%. It went to 55% by 2021. He said last year alone, it fell another 7% and now only makes up 47% of the official global reserve currency. you better buckle up because it is going to be a rough ride for the dollar. 800-951-0592. We got half dollars. We got 10th ounce maple leaves. Get them while you can get them. Jason and I, we're coming right back with the half empty cup.